Hello guys, welcome back to Patrones Mujer. I'll be sharing with you a tutorial how to make this skirt, and you can find this pattern on the magazine Patrones Infantiles number 17. Having said that, let's get started. We'll take pen and paper to write down the materials. Once we have the patent dressing from the magazine, we cut along the same line that we'll make. These are finished patterns, which means they have 1 centimeter seam, hems, and cut with notches and grid lines. Okay, let's check the pieces. These are the pieces from the hand, and we overlock the sides. And this is the waistband. We fold in half and we press with the iron. These are the pieces from the skirt. This is the lining. This is the piping and the elastic. Okay, we're going to start with the pieces of the pants. So we overlock the curve, the edge, and all around of the pieces. We're going to face the front and back, and we're going to sew them the curves and then the inner length, and we're going to finish closing the cross length. Then we're going to sew on the sides. This is the lining. Also, we face the right. We're going to close the curves, and then we're going to match the cross length. Continue with the sides. We are going to sew on the sides. We're going to introduce the elastic inside of the bias. These are the pieces from the hand. We face the right and we sew until the curve, and then with the back pieces we face the right and we sew them until the curve. Then we're going to sew the sides, match the inner length, sew them, match the other side, and finish closing the cross length. This is the lining. We face the right and we're going to sew them until the curve, and also with the other pieces. Match the inner length and sew them. And match the cross length and finish closing the cross length. Face the right and close the sides. We continue with the piping. We fold in half the bias and we introduce the piping inside. You have to use one single side foot for pass the stitch close to the piping. We continue with the pieces of the skirt. We overlock the sides at the edge of the skirt. We fold until the notch and we're going to pass a stitch for all the folds. And also with the back piece. Face the rights and we're going to close for one side. Then we're going to open the skirt and we're going to place the piping in the edge of the top of the skirt. Fold until the notch and pass a stitch for both sides for hold the fold. Face the rights and sew them for one side. Place the piping and pass a stitch on the edge of the piping. Now we're going to introduce the lining inside of the pants and we're going to sew all around of the leg. Place the rights of the lining and the main fabric and sew them all around of the leg. Cut the excess of the fabric around of the leg. Open the seams and pass a stitch on the lining. Now we need to match the other side of the leg. So we face the rights of the lining and we're going to close on the sides and then we're going to match the right of the main fabric and the lining and we're going to sew them all around of the leg. Then we're going to place the elastic around. Face the rights of the lining and sew them all around of the length. Open the seams and pass a stitch on the lining. Now we pass a stitch around and because we need to introduce the elastic through this gap. Introduce the elastic around of the leg. And pass a stitch for hold the elastics. Finish closing the missing part of the leg. Match the placket and all around of the waist. Remember to match the center back, center front, and the side. Pass a stitch for hold the waist. We're going to place the pants with the skirt. We match the sides and the center front and center back. Pass a stitch for hold the pieces, the skirt and the pants all along on the waist. Continue with the waist. Then we're going to sew for one side and also with the lining. We're going to sew for one side. Face the rights. Face the rights and sew them for one side. Now, place the waistband. You have to match the notches and the sides. Place the lining and also face the right of the lining. And sew them all around. Remember, you have to use one single side foot because we need to pass the stitch close to the piping. And finish placing the waistband. Sew the lining with the skirt. Now we're going to place the other part of the waistband, face the right of the waistband, match the sides and the center front and center back. Face the rights and sew them all along on the waist. Now, put them in fabric of right side facing up and sewing as close to the teeth as possible. We need to position the zipper teeth into the groove of the foot. Remember to make sure that you have a little bit room between the seams allowings and where the zip starts so that you don't get any little puckers. Make a mark where is the cut and the waistband. And place the other side of the invisible zipper. Remember to match the marks. Finish closing the missing part. We fold the waistband, we face the rights and we're going to pass a stitch. Fold the waistband and pass a stitch. The corners, fold the other side of the waistband and pass a stitch. We're going to place the elastic on the waistband, and then we're going to fold the waistband and close the waistband. Pass a stitch for one side of the elastic and pull the elastic and pass a stitch on the other side. Fold the elastic and pull the centimeter inside of the waistband and pass a stitch all around of the waistband. We press with the arrow on the hem, and by hand we're going to pass a stitch all around of the hem. And we have finished our skirt. We place the buttons on the front. We press with the iron the folds and the hem. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you smash that thumbs up button and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more tutorials. You can find this pattern on the magazine Patrones Infantiles number 17 and the links are below. We see you in another video very soon. Bye.